Here in the UK, we're a quirky bunch. We like to drink hot water infused with dried leaves. And we love to moan about the weather. But we also love to razz about the woods on hardcore hardtails. And we've gathered together 3 of the latest models, all from British brands, to see which one delivers the most fun. First off, we have the Nukeproof Scout. It's a model that started off life as a 4-cross bike, so it should be a ninja on jumpy trails. But for 2018, it's been refined with extra length and a more compliant back end. And it's also running chunky 2.6-inch tyres for extra grip and comfort. We can't mention the hardcore hardtail without talking about Whyte. And for 2018, the legendary 905 goes one step further than Nukeproof with big volume 2.8-inch tyres. And last but by no means least, we have the Orange Crush. It's a bike that won this test 2 years ago, and it sticks with the same formula for 2018 with regular 2.3-inch tyres, even though the frame will accept wider 2.6-inch versions. So here are our 3 contenders. Let's see how they all stack up.
Tyre size is not the only area in which our trio differ. Fork travel ranges from 130mm on the Whyte to 150 on the Orange, with Nukeproof splitting the difference. However, all 3 bikes sport the sturdy new Rockshox Revelation RC fork. Essentially, it's a pike with a cheaper damper and a big step up in performance over the old chassis for aggressive riding. Although it boasts the most fork travel, the Orange also has the steepest head angle. Run the same sag percentage on all 3 bikes and the Crush will sink into its travel the most and further steepen the front end. So the extra travel hinders as much as it helps the Halifax Ripper. The Crush frame remains largely unchanged from last year. It still gets a 44mm head tube, which makes it simpler to fit an angle adjust headset if you do want to slacken it out. But the dropouts now use the Boost 148 spacing, so there's room for a 2.6-inch wide tyre. Whyte's 905 keeps fork travel minimal at 130mm, and this helps keep the geometry nice and composed on steep descents, especially under braking. Not forgetting the slightly shorter offset, which adds even more stability to the steering. And it claws back some lost fork travel with those fat 2.8-inch Maxxis tyres. The 905 also stands out for its progressive geometry. A sub 300mm bottom bracket height means it's the only bike here that really needs the 170mm cranks that are fitted across the board. It was also the only medium in the test, yet it measures up less than 10mm shorter than its competitors, both of which are size large frames. And with a size range that goes all the way up to XL, even taller riders won't have an issue finding a 905 that fits. Nukeproof Scout range starts at just £850, and all 3 models are available in both 27.5 and 29-inch wheel versions. Heavily revised for 2018, it retains the low slung top tube of its predecessor, but slender stays and redesigned dropouts aim to soften the old bone-jarring ride. Whether they are successful or not is hard to say with certainty, but it doesn't really matter either way, as the 2.6-inch tyres provide all the additional comfort you need. There's even room at both ends to run 2.8s should you wish. And while we're on the subject of comfort, you'll definitely want to ditch the razor sharp saddle and rock hard grips if you want to avert the onset of pins and needles. 2 years ago, the Orange Crush was genuinely cutting edge. In present company, however, a few grey hairs are starting to appear. The frame still has a really nice feel to it, but the head angle needs to be slacker if Orange really wants to offer a performance advantage over sub £1,000 hardtails like the Ragley Marley. Sure, the fatter rear tyre improves grip and comfort and is a step in the right direction, but on leaf-littered trails laced with hidden roots, it felt like the ground was moving beneath our wheels. So we found ourselves tiptoeing down trails that we could rally on aboard the Nukeproof and the Whyte. The bigger tyres have advantages for all bikes, but it's the humble hardtail that really stands to gain the most. The Orange Crush is still a great bike, but it needs to embrace higher volume rubber if it's going to really allow the excellent alloy frame to shine. What a difference a year can make. The Nukeproof Scout 275 comp has gone from the weakest bike on test to narrowly missing out on the win. And it's not just the frame that's come on in leaps and bounds either. Nukeproof has stepped up the quality of its components, with a great profile to the 800mm Neutron bar, and updated graphics and broad 50mm stem, creating a high-end look and feel. On flowing single track, the Scout is lightning fast. The rapid engagement of the Horizon rear hub means it's lost none of its 4-cross snap, and it actively encourages you to crank out of every turn. Thanks to the steep seat tube angle, it's also got the best riding position on test for climbing. The Scout is a little nose heavy though, and even when we rolled the handlebar back and firmed up the fork, it would still lose ground to the Whyte on steep or particularly rough trails. So no matter where, when or how we tested these three bikes, the Whyte 905 always managed to enthuse us to take more chances and crank that little bit harder. In the process, it opened up new lines and opportunities that were invisible or out of reach on the other bikes. And we don't think this is entirely down to the plus size tyres, even though there's no denying that the bigger rubber gave the bike more pop, making it less effort to skip over a route or clear a set of doubles. The fatter tyres were faster too, as all of those little bumps in the trail were seamlessly absorbed rather than chipping away at our speed. With the slackest dynamic steering geometry, lowest BB height and the best sizing, the 905 has all of the fundamentals in place to make a great hardtail. The plus size tyres simply take it to the next level. It's the lightest, the fastest, has the most progressive geometry, and above all is the most fun to ride. Whyte claims this is the best hardtail it's ever built, and we'd struggle to argue with that statement.